Okay, so here is the Chapter 6 quiz, which I really believe is nothing new. Let's see. 1992 presidential election. Alaska's 40 election districts averaged 1956.8 votes per district for President Clinton. Standard deviation, boom. Blah, 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 blah. All right, come on down to part A. What kind of distribution is it? There's the big N. It's a normal distribution. What do we always put in those boxes? Mean and standard, right? Same thing here. Mean and standard. Write that a little better. Mean and standard. The mean, it's saying average. That's the mean right there. Mean is average. 1956.8. And the standard deviation, right there, 572. 572.3. Okay. Is 1956 a population mean or a sample mean? I'm not going to ask you that in the exam. We had that in the last exam. I don't know if you remember that. It's a population because it wasn't just like a poll. They weren't saying we polled to find out, how people were going to vote and this is what we think. It wasn't a sample. It was the actual results from the actual election. So that means it's population. Remember that when we learned that? Population is actual thing and samples are what you estimate. All right, question C. So find the probability that a randomly selected district had fewer than 1,700 votes for President Clinton. So how are you going to recognize this kind of a question on the exam 9 days from now with everything else? Well, I think the main thing you would see is up in the beginning, it gives you a mean and a standard deviation. That's just like the dead giveaway. And they'll also say, well, they won't always say, but they'll say normally distributed. I'll show you when we go over the practice exam. I think they will actually say that. We'll see as we go over the practice exam together next week. It'll say normally distributed. So that's what's going to key you in. You'll see a mean and a standard and the words normally distributed. You go, oh, okay. I can do that normal CDF or maybe the inverse norm, depending on which way they ask the question. You'll know it's one of those two. So which one is it? Are they asking me for a percentage or giving me a percentage? Find the probability. Find the percentage. They're asking me for a percentage, aren't they? So it's normal CDF. So I'm just going to go, okay, normal CDF. And I do think it's helpful to draw the curve. You don't have to, but I think it'll help you. So I'm going to draw the little curve here. Put the middle on. The middle is 1956.8. That's the middle, the mean, they said. And they're asking fewer than 1,700. So all you got to figure out is 1,700 right or left of the middle. It's just a little bit to the left, isn't it? 1,700. It's smaller than 1956. And they said, and then which way do we shade? Could go either way, right or left. They said, what they say? Fewer. Fewer is left, huh? So that's what they want from me. They want me to find that area right there. So you know how you do normal CDF? You go left edge. So what's the left edge of that chunk of shading? Yeah, the left edge. I'm going to get rid of that population words in the way there. That left edge is right here, isn't it? And the right edge is the 1,700, isn't it? See for that green chunk of shading? Let me put the R in a better spot so you can see it better. The R is right here. And the the left edge of the shading chunk is left forever. And the right edge, so it's supposed to be negative 99999. The right edge is 1,700. And the mean, so left edge, right edge, the mean, and the standard. What's the mean? 1956.8. The standard, they told me, I'm running out of room here. 572.8. No, 0.3. 572.3. There it is. Hit the button on your head. You don't even need the closing parenthesis. Just hit the buttons. I probably should have done one more 9 here just to be sure. I'll do 5 9s. Minus 99999. Right? Did everybody see that? Making sense? That's left forever. The shading. See how the chunk of shading The left edge is left forever. The right edge is the 1956. I'm sorry, the 1700. Is that making sense? So I think the picture will guide you on that. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ... You can do the rest of question number 1. Nothing more there. On to question 2 we go. Question 2. IQ, normally distributed. Well, here's the mean. The mean's 100. Average IQ, standard deviation 15. I think those are right. I think that's, type into Google or whatever. The IQ test thing has an average of 100, standard deviation of 15. Find the probability that a randomly selected person's IQ is over 105. Over 105. So you know the deal. Let's draw a bell curve. Let's put the middle. The middle is 100. So over 105, is 105 right or left of the middle? A little bit to the right. And they want over 105. So am I going to shade to the right or the left of 105? Where's the over 105? To the right. That's bigger than 105, right? If they said less than 105, I would have shaded to the left. So there's what they want me to figure out. They're saying find the probability. They want me to find the percentage. So that means normal CDF. Normal CDF. And remember how it always works. Whoops, I shouldn't have put it right there. There's no room. No room right there. Normal CDF is always left edge, right edge, mean, and standard. So what's the left edge of that chunk of shading? The 105, that's the left edge, huh? And what's the right edge of that chunk of shading? Yeah, that's the 99999. That's the right edge, huh? Left edge is 105. It starts at 105 and goes up to forever. 99999. Right, we want to know, what percentage of people have an IQ between 105 and forever high? So mean is 100. Standard deviation is 15. Hit the buttons on your calculator, you get that answer. I'm going to jump down to C. A school offers blah, 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 bottom 3%. That won't be hard. I'm going to jump down to D. D is more tricky. We just don't have time for everything. I want to jump down to D to help you. Okay, so on part D now. Part D, it says find the Q1. So let me draw the curve, draw the bell curve. Put the middle on. What's the middle? 100 still. Okay. Now, Q1, they want me to find Q1. Where is Q1? Remember, it's football game, basketball game, first quarter, right? So we just come down here and we go, okay. First quarter is the 25%. That's Q1, huh? So they want me to find that mark right there that marks off the first quarter of the data. And then they want me to find Q3. I'll do that in a minute. That's Q3. That marks off the beginning of the end of the third quarter, which is the beginning of the fourth. So remember, Q1 means end of the first quarter. Q3 means end of the third quarter, right? So if you break it into quarters, this is the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, like a football game or basketball game. Remember what we learned about quartile in the last part of the course? Q1 is the end of the first quarter. Q3 is the end of the third quarter, which is therefore the beginning of the fourth. So they want me to find Q1. So find Q1. So how am I going to do it? Is it normal CDF or inverse norm? Yeah, they're giving me, Q1 means 25%, doesn't it? So they're giving me a percentage. So that means inverse norm. They're giving me a percentage. And how does it always work? Area to the left, mean, standard. What's the area to the left of Q1? 25%, huh? 0.25. The mean is 100. Standard is 15. Hit the buttons on your calculator. I'll do it too. Getting 89. How many places? Is it 4 places again? 2. Round all answers to 2. 89.88. That means anybody that has an IQ 89.88, that's the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. 25% of people have below that, 75% have above that. Okay, now let's find Q3. So to find Q3, same thing, inverse norm for Q3. What's the area? If you're at Q3, what area is to the left of you? 75%, huh? Does that make sense? If you're at the end of the third quarter, 75% is the area to the left. The mean's 100. Standard is 15. Hit the buttons on your calculator. I'll do it too. I'm getting, I hit the wrong buttons. Try again. I'm getting 110.117, so rounds to 12. 110.12. So if your IQ is 110.12, 75% of people below you, 25% above you. So now, what's IQR? Interquartile range. Remember how you find it? Yeah, IQR just means how far from there to there. That's IQR, huh? It's just Q3 minus Q1. It's just how far from Q1 to Q3. It's how far from here to here. It's the middle half of the data, in other words. From the end of the first quarter to the end of the third quarter. It's the interquartile range. So you just take Q3, 110.12 minus Q1, 89.88, and whatever that comes out to be, it comes out to be, I can't do it, let's see. 20.24, thank you. 20.24. Is that making sense? Are we good there? Okay. And let's just jump down to part C, how about? And instead of 30%, I'll say 40%. So 40%. So find the middle 40% of Asian heights lie between what two numbers? So the average, for Asians, the average height is 64 inches. Standard deviation is 2.3. Draw a bell curve. The middle, put the middle on there. See if you can find the two marks, the heights, for the middle 40%. So if I jump on this, so middle 40%, we're going from there. Well, I'm not doing that too well. Let's say from there to there. So 0.40 in the middle. So if there's 0.40 in the middle, what's, right, this right here is 0.40. What's left over for the two outsides? Right. So the leftover, left for the outside, 1 minus 0.40, that's 0.60. So if there's 40% in the middle, then there's 60% on the two sides, which means, divide that by 2, 30% on each side, huh? So this must be 30%, this must be 30%. Is that making sense? How we find that? And now, to find this particular spot, oh, I forgot to put the middle. What's the middle? 64. The middle is 64 inches. That's the average height. So to find this particular spot right there, am I going to do a normal CDF or inverse norm? Are they asking me for the percentage or giving me? They're giving me the percentage. There are all kinds of percentages on there, huh? So it's going to be inverse norm. So I'll write it here. Inverse norm. And remember what you're going to do. Area to the left, huh? So what's the area to the left of that spot? Well, it's just 0.30. And the mean and the standard. The mean is 64. The standard is whatever, 2.3. Hit the buttons on your calculator. Now, how are you going to find this spot right here? Because they want both of them. They want the low and the high that surround the middle 40%. So inverse norm. Yeah, what's the area to the left of this spot? What's all this area? So yeah, 0.4 and 0.3. It's going to be 0.70, huh? Area to the left is 0.70. Mean is 64. Standard deviation 2.3. Hit the buttons on the calculator. Same-o, right? We good there?